should know her name. Too focused, she focused on her. Girl, you should know her name. Up late, grinding hard, she's a star. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. Don't you know her name? It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. Don't you know she's telling you will heal my body, only soothe my body. All in the soap, all in the soap. Give me one of these. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams.
What's up, you guys? Oh my God. Rich risings, abundant risings to the gods and goddesses that is on the chat. I would love to see an engagement in there. Okay, if I have any moderators, please make sure you're moderating the chat. Okay. But before we get into anything here, I would highly appreciate it if you guys go check out my website. This is the QR code. You could go on there, and while you at it, when you go on the website, book your masterclass. Okay, I had a few questions last night. Is the masterclass in person? No, the masterclass is on a webinar. We're going to be doing a webinar. Okay, it's going to be a private link, and we're going to be doing the masterclass on the line online. Okay, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. So the tickets is going. I also have my breaking barriers here. We're going to be changing the cover up a little bit. I'm waiting for the designer to do it. And I'm also going to be promoting the designer. I got a story about that. Let me just get to all of everything I need. Go check us out on Patreon. This session is actually inspired by my Patreon family. Oh my God, I got so much energy today. Shout out to Brother King Simon as well. This is King Simon's books. Okay, go check out Brother King Simon. I love you so much, King Simon. Thank you for everything that you do. And this is my Udemy course here. And of course, here am I. Give me a second though, because I just kind of did something. Hey! Oh my God. I'm filled with so much love today. Okay, so first of all, thank you for everybody that has been supporting the channel. Thank you for everybody that stays tuned in and showing up for yourselves. Give thanks. Shout outs to my Patreon family. Shout outs to Brother King Simon. First of all, I got up this rising, and Brother King Simon texted me. Good morning. Les Brown, one of my favorite motivational speakers. And let me tell you something. Me and Brother King Simon knew each other for years, like over 20 years, basically. And since I met him, he never stopped sending me motivational speakers, right? So this morning he sent me this, and then I go onto my Patreon, and I'm just so proud of my Patreon, right? Because one thing about, when you're doing good, when the people around you are doing good. When you're doing good, when the people around you are doing good. Everybody on my Patreon, first of all, let's just talk about how I made the Patreon, right? So at the beginning of this year, I wasn't showing my face, right? You could only see my hands. And so YouTube basically did this thing now where if you're monetized, you can't show any naked tarot cards, which makes no fucking sense, right? And somebody reported that. It was reported twice. Okay, so the first time I was down for a few days, and then the second time it was 2 weeks. So obviously somebody here was being petty, right? So I got tired of it at the time, and this is gonna go with the whole series of what I'm doing here. At the time, I was already kind of over a lot of things. I felt like I didn't fit in the conscious community. I'm alternative, black. Like, yes, I am black, but I'm also very alternative. My views are a little bit differently. I got face tattoos. And to some people in the conscious community, modifying your body, that is a sign of self-hate, is a sign of gangsterism, whatever. But to me, when I got my face tattoos, was a sign of liberation. And I did it before everybody did the face tattoos, even women, right? There was not a lot of women that was getting face tattoos when I got in mine, which my first face tattoo was in 2009, I believe. And the first symbol that I gotten was the 𝕻𝖆𝖗 symbol, the 𝖵 symbol, 𝖵 symbol on my face. So anywho, the reason why I had made this is because I noticed, and shout outs to my people in Patreon, my sister 𝕬𝖆𝖗, who really executed herself and took herself out of her boundaries. So if you haven't known, in Patreon, we start our days with affirmations, setting the tone for our days, right? Because words are spells. So after a while, if you're just saying the affirmations and you're not doing anything, you're just on autopilot. So I always remind my Patreon family, don't just say these affirmations, do it. And so what happened was, that's exactly what happened. Peace, supreme risings. I like that one. A lot of them started getting on their asses. A lot of them started, doing what they had to do. And I'm really proud of them. And if you are a good, just not a leader, because I'm still a student, but if you are a good mentor or a friend or somebody here like that, everybody around you should learn from you. If your friends are not learning, if your friends are just still the same, then those are not the real friends that you need. That's not the family that you need here. We should all be learning from each other. We should all be building. The people that you're around should be elevated by you, or you should be elevated by your friends. If they're not elevating you, then those are not the real people here. So I'll get back to the story here. I started the Patreon because I was tired of YouTube flagging my shit. So I decided to make a Patreon, which was the best thing. So I was going through two things. I felt like I didn't fit in the conscious community. I had a lot of gatekeepers, right? Talking shit about me, telling people that I was this, I was that. And then I had YouTube, which was trying to blackball me and try to take down my videos because obviously the tarot cards. So I decided I was going to make a Patreon, so where I could be able to find my family, not knowing that I was starting my own wave. And that was something here that I written down. And I even said it to Brother King Simon. I said, I'm going to start my own trend. I don't like the trend. I'm starting my own wave. And I executed that. Like, be about it. Don't just say you're gonna do it. Be about it. You get what I'm saying? What's up, family? If you don't like something here, you got to go about it differently. You got to make that change. You got to make that change. So let's get straight into it. I want to be reading from this book, which we are reading in Patreon here, The 12 Universal Law of Success by Dr. Herbert Harris. Okay, I'll just leave it here. Rich Risings. All right, this is it. If y'all want to go check it out, get this book. They also have it in Kindle. I highly recommend to get the physical copy and get the Kindle copy as well if you have Kindle. Because sometimes, for me, I like to read it in the nighttime. So sometimes the lights is already off, and so the Kindle comes in, or you might want to just screenshot it, you know what I'm saying, send it to a friend or whatever the case may be. So it's good to have both copies. That's how I do it. Half of the time, the quotes that I have that I post is from this book. And I had this book for over 20 years as well. Okay, so Obstacles to Change. Okay, the title of it is False Evidence Appearing Real, which spells fear. Three mains fear keeps people from making the changes that are necessary to improve their lives. The fear of change, which we just spoke about. The fear of criticism. The fear of failure. Those are the three things that people are scared of subconsciously. People are scared of change, people are scared of criticism, and people are scared of failure. I've done it all. And I'm so thankful to be in one of the most toughest boroughs, Brooklyn, because it made me so tough. It made me so tough like iron, right? To where I've been bullied. I've been the bully. I've heard so many things, people criticizing me physically, mentally, emotionally, that it made me very tough. So when I go through adversity, and just being a Capricorn rising, I already know that things are going to be tough. Like, not saying to not bringing that out there, but the way that I learn is tough. Like, I'm just not like a person, you could tell me something here, I'm going to go for it. Never. I always have to go through the experience before I could be able to learn from my experience here. And that's just how it is for me. For other people, you could tell them something here and they learn. Unfortunately, I'm not like that. So it worked for me. Some people fear change itself. They may say that they want change certain aspects of their life, but at the same time, they are doing everything possible to keep their situation exactly the way it is right. The fear of change sometimes manifests as a fear of the unknown. One of the pitfalls of being successful but unfulfilled is that it is easy to become complacent and satisfied with what you have accomplished. When this happens, you become fearful of making changes because you are not sure how it's going to work out. How many of us have been very complacent in where we're at because it's worked, it's controlled? You know how much money you're going to make at your job. You know that you're going to have a roof over your head. You know that everybody likes you, or you're not being talked about. That is the fear of change within itself. We've all went through that, right? At one point in my career, it was very stagnant, right? I did it just enough so people won't like me. I mean, so people will like me. I did just enough to where I made just enough money. I did just enough, but I knew that was just not enough for me. Definitely for me, right? And so sometimes we can get very comfortable with what other people want from us because we fear of the change within ourselves. You overcome the fear of change by having total faith that you can realize the outcomes desired in your new life. Know that your Father, the Godhead, is rich and powerful and eager to bestow all good things into you. The fear of criticism, that's the second one now. The fear of criticism robs you of your initiative and destroys your imagination. It is fatal to your personal achievement and encouraging the development of inferiority complex. When you fear the criticism of others, your desire for change is neutralized and you remain stuck in the very condition you want to change. Now, how many of us could say too that we were afraid of criticism, afraid of coming out with something here that people will judge, fear of maybe people won't like me anymore, or people won't see me the same because I decided to do something outside of myself. When I went from working at a very famous bookstore, I decided that I wanted to take my career to the next level. And with that being said, I had to tell people no. I had to stop being a people pleaser because I knew that I had to change my reality. I was playing it safe. And I know that I had more potential within myself. So to overcome the fear of criticism, you must realize that all criticism is not harmful. Consider that the source of the criticism. It is coming from someone who has already accomplished what you are trying to do, or who is it otherwise successful and fulfilled in their own endeavors? Or is the criticism coming from someone who is unsuccessful in whatever they attempt? Is the criticism motivated by the true care and concern? Or is it motivated by jealousy, feelings of inferiority? I personally have been through criticism from each department. People that were more successful than I was, but didn't want me to become more successful than them because they saw the light within me. So that was jealousy and fear. I had people that was in my same shoes also try to criticize me for deciding to want to work overtime, not go outside, not go party, not speak on the phone and talk about gossip. So when people start to criticize you for something here that you're deciding to do, you got to ask yourself, is this coming from a place of, first of all, you got to look at the person, where they're at in their life. Are they happy? Are they living in their true dream? Are they doing something here that inspires you? Then you could take that criticism. But if the person's not happy, even if they might be making more money than you, if the person's not living in their full potential, then don't take their criticism. Half of the people that's going to criticize you is they're not even taking a leap of faith and doing what they have desired. 9 times out of 10, the same person that's criticizing you is not even stepping in your shoes. They cannot do the things that you have done, or they were not doing the things that you were doing. So you have to think twice about the things that people are saying, and you have to just let that shit slide off. And that takes time. If you guys can understand that, please put in the chat. Okay, let's say I understand, or put the number 777. When criticism is constructive and comes from someone you respect, pay attention to what they are saying and intelligently analyze their statements. Make the required adjustments and continue making the changes desired in your life. If the criticism comes from someone you do not respect, tune them out and continue with your program, which I just said. If you search throughout recorded history, you will never find a state erected to a critic. Statues are erected for the doers, those who take on the challenge of change and victoriously go on to do great things of the world. Overcome the fear of criticism. Last one. Oh, no, this is it. Overcome the fear of criticism by refusing to worry about what other people think, say, or do. When people criticize you, it's a good bet that you are doing something right. 9 times out of 10, the reason why people are criticizing you is because they wish that they could have done it. Okay? Those who are qualified to give constructive criticism will find a way to do so, which makes you feel empowered. See, a person that wants to help you is not going to come from a place of trying to put you down. 9 times out of 10, a person that wants to help you will give you an outlet to help you, right? Anytime I talk to Brother King Simon and I tell him something here that's bothering me, he always tells me to find my path, do better. That's good criticism. You don't like something, change it or make a way for you. That's it. If a person here is already telling you you can't, remove them or don't talk to them about your situation. They can't understand you. They're not meant to be in your shoes, or they're not meant to live the life that you live. You find people that are doing better than you or is in the same vibration as you or even better, and you speak to them. But there's a difference from dumping, and there's a difference from having a conversation of needing help. Dumping is when you call somebody and you're telling them all the things that is going wrong in your life. You didn't ask them if they had time to talk. You just dumped. You're telling them the things that you don't like and the things that's going wrong. That is not respect. When you respect somebody, you respect their time, and you firstly ask them if they are available to speak. You have to watch your words. Words are spells. You don't like what something here is happening, you need to be mindful of how you're speaking to people and what you're dumping. I will shut that shit off. People know. I'll shut it down. The last one is fear The fear of failure keeps you from trying. The fear of failure keeps you from trying. Fear of failure often manifests as the habit of procrastination. This way, you can talk about the better life you desire and know the changes in your thinking that are necessary to bring this better life about. Yet, you never seem to get started making those changes. It's either too late, too early, or just not the right time to get started. How many of us also have procrastinated because we are scared to fail? The fear of failure makes you find rational excuses for not trying. I'm not ready yet. I hear that so many times, respectfully. I hear that so many times. I am not ready yet. When are you ready? When are you ready? The fear of failure makes you find irrational excuses for not trying and understandable excuses for quitting, often just steps away from the victory. To overcome the fear of failure, realize that to fail means you are trying. Failure is just a dress rehearsal for success. Anyone who has not failed at anything has probably never succeeded at anything either. Your attitude towards failure determines your aptitude for success. An excellent example of one's attitude towards failure can be found in the life of Thomas Edison. Shortly before inventing the light bulb, Thomas Edison was being interviewed by a young reporter. The reporter asked Mr. Edison why hadn't he given up on the light bulb idea, since he had failed over 3,000 times attempt to make the light bulb work. Mr. Edison looked at the reporter and said, "Failed? I have never failed. What I have done is successfully identify 3,000 times ways that will not work." Recognize you can change your condition by changing your thinking about yourself, about your conditions, about the people with whom you associate with. The key to experience a better life is your ability to fully and completely describe the vision of the life you wish to experience and of the person you would like to become. The universal law of change provides that life you are experiencing right now can be changed by the change of your thinking. However, in order to effect this change requires three things. You must have faith that there is something better for you. You must choose to do better. You must truly desire to change. Fear of change, fear of criticism, and fear of failure are the main obstacles to change. To overcome these obstacles, you must have total faith in yourself and in your abilities. Don't worry about what other people say or do. Treat each failure as a dress rehearsal for success. Know that anyone who has never failed has probably never succeeded at anything. Here's three questions I would love for you guys to answer. How can you become the person you want to be? What is the main obstacle keeping you from becoming that person? And last but not least, how will you overcome that obstacle? All right. So before I get into a little spread for you guys on some oracle cards that I have picked out for you, I also want to go over, I had put this up on the collective reading, the last collective reading about paradoxical intentions, but I would like to speak more about this with this fear. What is the paradoxical intention? Is a cognitive technique that consists of persuading a patient to engage in his and her feared behavior. You first have to know what is it that you fear. And paradoxical intentions is going towards the fear, right? You must let go of the urgency and engage in the thoughts of trust in order to open doors of magnetic attraction. Obsessing about what is missing in your life actually causes you to channel your energy into missing it more. I spent over 2 years trying to figure out why somebody here did not give me an answer of what I did wrong. It was like, as a Capricorn rising and a Virgo moon, I need to know. And the fact that I didn't know drove me crazy. And then going on Tarot Land, you just get all of these different answers, and then you think you know, and then you go to another tarot reader, and then the tarot reader tells you this. So then you become a couch potato. And I speak about that on my Patreon a lot. That for 2 years I was a couch potato, trying to figure out why somebody here didn't love me, why I didn't get the answers that I needed to get, why did this happen, why did this person do this. It just became obsessive. And so I became one of those people that was obsessed with tarot and wanted to know, and realized here that a lot of these tarot readers actually have mental health issues. And that's the reason why I decided to go back into doing tarot myself, because this shit was just like crazy. Like, what? Many, and this goes back to the last, I have a few other ones. Many people find letting go of urgency to be very difficult because they are attached to so many emotional experiences to the hoped for outcomes of their desires. How many of us in this chat have a problem or had a problem with letting go of something that you have been attached to because you've had so many emotional experiences to the hope for outcomes of the desires? Please put in the chat 777 if you have been a victim of having an attached feeling because you had so many emotional experiences to the hoped for, you see that hope, outcomes of their desires. She said, yes, the reader you mentioned before, you didn't say the name, but I had to unfollow because I knew it was dumb. The reading will start like, you gonna die. Yep. We ain't giving them no, you got to be careful who you getting your readings from or who you tapping into. A lot of them, and I speak about this a lot, when you start working with certain spirits, right? When you start working with certain spirits, if you ain't feeding them, they're gonna feed off you. So now you need people, so the spirit could be feeding off of them. Or you need to summon other people and feed off of them people, so that when the spirit feeds off of you, it's nothing to feed off. So a lot of these readers is also doing that as well. I'm going to finish this lesson up here. It wasn't easy to let go. So many repetitive lessons in the same form, just a different shape. Luckily, my hard head finally woke up. Ashe, baby. And you know what? A lot of the times we don't know. We aren't aware of the fact that we're going through the same experience. You can get what you want by knowing that you don't need it to be happy. So my question here for you guys, I always got a question. That's Saturn. What are your underlying needs that may be poisoning your process if you obsess about your need for your goal? You are focusing both your energy and your consciousness on what's missing in your life. You live in a universal tapestry where the picture of your destiny comes together according to the threads of your energy. Consciousness and intentions. Let yourself weave your future with positive energy and create energy, creative conscious, and pure, unconflicted intentions about all things. Sometimes in the nighttime, my writing start to get a little, you know what I'm saying? Like because I'm just in my mode, so I'll just be writing. So yes, you guys. So I'm gonna get us 3 cards. The Power of Surrender Oracle deck. And let me just say something here as well. Be comfortable with the fact that there's going to be people as you grow, right? As you grow, there's going to be people that you grew up with, or the people that you have built with. They will soon fall apart. There's going to be a time where you're going to have to be okay with not being so attached to the outcome of what other people are doing. You have to be detached. But yet, because love is free, love is no attachment, and I feel like we've gotten very comfortable with being attached to people because we feel that emotional attachment to them, right? We spoke about that. But as we start to grow, sometimes people start to get jealous. 9 times out of 10 people will get jealous because they aren't capable of doing the same things and taking the same risks as you are. They still have insecurities within themselves. So be okay with being that sometimes people are just unexpected visitors. That's what Divine Feminine had yesterday. Be okay with people visiting you and getting the message from that person that's visiting and letting them go. Letting them go. Hey, Cass, you missed the whole lesson, girl. But while rewatching here, you will love it, girl. You will love it. Shout outs to Patreon gang up in the building. Diamond. It's a transformation for me. Cass. My other sister here. Everybody in here. Even if you're not on Patreon, you're still YouTube. Wow, we just spoke about this. God, thank you so much. The topic is on fear, and look how the universe is working. Okay, so the first card is on the topic at hand, surrender to fear. Surrender, fear. Okay, this card says, let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment. Focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward. You know, that surrender to fear is real because sometimes a lot of us are okay with that, the story that was already said. Like, you know, sometimes you're okay with the fact that somebody here had made you feel a certain way. And after a while, you start to become that. You feel that. You feel like, okay, I'm very comfortable here because you've already kind of went through that emotional shock. But then you go through another emotional shock where spirit is like, but this is not where you're supposed to stay. You know what I'm saying? So spirit says, let go of the stories that you are telling yourself. You are beautiful enough. You're handsome enough. You're intelligent enough. You are worthy enough. And once you start to redefine your story, then you realize that those fears is not even really fears. Remember, let's go back to this book, False Evidence Appearing Real. How many of us in the chat, put it in the motherfucking chat, have made false evidence appear as real? And half of the time, those are other people's false evidence. That's other people's projections within themselves. Put in the chat 777. Surrender your ego. Cultivating gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. Let me tell you something, y'all. Real rap. Like, ego is needed, but then ego, just like everything else, has a yin and yang, right? We have that ego that will help us, and then we need to kind of also know when to just put the ego away, or like not humble that ego, but kind of just know when to use your ego or not. Being grateful, be of service, and come from your heart. If you know that the intentions was pure, if you know that your intentions was real, if you know that the intentions was from your heart, be okay with that, even if other people don't appreciate you. Because once you start to love yourself, it's not about always trying to tell people, oh, I did this for you, and I did this, and I did that. It's about understanding yourself and where you're at, and just knowing when to allow spirit to be like, okay, my time here is over. Further your goals and keep it moving here. Your last card is surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. Like Brother King Simon says, and plenty of other people have said, let me Google it first before I say. I don't want to say the wrong thing. How many thoughts you have to overcome one negative? It says, according to Forbes, 3 positive experiences to offset one negative experience. 3 positive experiences to offset one negative experience. So what does that mean? That means that when one negative thought comes in, you have to remind yourself of all the positive things that you have done. However many other times you have to say it. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of us are fighting those negative thoughts because we're going through a different transition in our lives. So we're still kind of in that transitional process of still feeling those negative feelings. But you have to fight back and say, thank you, but I've done this. That's why it's always important for you to find something good that makes you feel good and whole within yourself. If you haven't been of service in some type of way, shape, or form that's making you feel good, then maybe you should do that in 2025. Find something that makes you feel of service to humanity so you could be able to fill that void within yourself. When I was younger and I was in Job Corp, I wanted to myself. I speak about it all the time. And one thing that spirit made me do was find something that made me feel good. Finishing up a project for me was all I really cared about. Seeing something be finished, because then it gave me hope. It gave me energy for me to be able to move forward in my life. And a lot of the times, that's what we need. We need to see something here finish. Find a family, find people that's going to come and be a part of your tribe. This is that type of channel here. We are going to support you. Definitely if you come on Patreon. All right, I'm gonna give you my colorful deck, and then we're gonna get off this. I hope you guys are loving this. All right, thank you for being so engaging in the chat. All right, so can we have a spread for my lovely collective before we get off the chat? All right, the topic is about fear. Right, the topic is about fear. And can we get a spread for my lovely collective? Yes, 10-10. We have here death. Okay. So when I'm getting this energy of this card, it's telling me here that a lot of you guys are becoming alive again. Something here is done. That thought process is done. It doesn't serve here no more. It's not a part of you. We have here reflection. Ashe. What has been done? What has been dead? What has been dead, and what do we need to reflect in this time right now? What is it that I need to do to finally end these thoughts, these feelings, and how have I let this reflect into my life through relationships, through partnerships, through my own insecurities? And yes, so this week I want you guys to reflect on what it needs to be dead, what needs to be done. What is it that you're leaving behind? Surrender. The more that you're able to surrender, the more that you're able to let. When you surrender, you're giving yourself to the spirit or God, whatever it is that you believe in. When you surrender, that means that you trust in the universe. But if you can't surrender, that means that you don't trust yourself. Let's be real. And you don't trust the universe. You are ready. Stop saying I'm not ready. Stop saying that you're going to wait until 2025 to start your projects. The project starts now. The best thing that's happening here within the next few weeks is confidence. Okay? Building that confidence back up. Knowing that you are ready, knowing that you are confident, and knowing that you have never, it's kind of like a part of us have let, like, who were you before any of these people broke down that innocent you, that childlike you? Because the childlike you took that chance. The childlike you didn't care if you fell. But as we gotten older, we had let people take that childlike innocence away from us. We stopped laughing. We stopped taking risks because now we're too busy focusing on the physical forms of life. Who took that childlike innocence away? Because having confidence means that you have to, that you're willing to be like, you know what, fuck it. I can wear this and still look good. I can still do this and still look good. A part of you has, that a part of something of you has been taken away. That childlike innocence. Your challenge is rejection. Yeah. We have all been rejected. I know I have been rejected. If you have been rejected, put 444 in the chat, because that's a mental number 4. If you have been rejected, put 444 in the chat. And your vice is magic. And magic just means something here that's not physical, but it's mysterious. It's mental. It's the mind. How can you make something here appear that's not here? Right? Underneath the deck, growth. You guys are going to be growing here. Okay? You guys are going to be growing. Just going to clarify these and then we're going to get off this because I have to go. Okay? What is this death here for the collective? The Prince of Pentacles. Some of you guys need to stop procrastinating like we spoke about. Start moving, letting things grow, letting things expand, seeing yourself worthy of it, letting the universe take its time. What is the reflection for collective here? The Queen of Wands. Who you are. What you give yourself to. Give thanks. Thank you so much for this. Thank you. And so, you know what? And another thing is don't look at yourself in the mirror and think that that's going to be enough, right? Because depending on where you're from, that could also just be feeding your ego. It starts within your spirit. When you reflect on the attributes that you have, the good things that you have, what God gave you besides the physical. Because this is going to all dissipate. This is all going to get saggy. We're going to get wrinkly. But what is your spirit doing right now? Fuck the physical. People get too caught up in that physical shit. Yeah, I look good. I know how to make it look good. But I like people to love me for my mind. What are you reflecting besides the looks, right? What makes you happy? What makes you smile? What is it that you guys need to surrender? Thank you so much here, baby, for the moolah. The Tower. Some of you guys need to surrender something here that was unexpected. Something here that honestly needed to change. Surrendering means that something here was out of your control and you're trying to control something here that needed to change. How diabolical is that, right? If you never went through what you went through, if you never went through that rejection, if you never went through that, then you would have never been coming into the self that you are coming into now. It's okay. Hold yourself, love yourself, value yourself in these very vulnerable times, in these unexpected changes in your life, and surrender and stop trying to control the narrative. What's the Tower here? The Nine of Cups. Exactly what you thought. Some of you guys, the Nine of Cups could be a promise or something here that didn't go as planned. The Nine of Cups could also be very complacent. It's complacency. I'm okay with this. But then the Tower comes and blows that shit up and you realize, oh shit, Spirit wanted more for you. It wasn't okay with you being mediocre. It wasn't okay for you smoking, drinking, being in an abusive relationship, being in a place that didn't serve you no more, with people that didn't value you. They had to shake it up. And if you don't surrender to that Tower moment, then you're going to be always saying, I'm not ready yet. What's the confidence here? That's great. That's so crazy. It's around March 2 that I stopped smoking too. So that would be both of us. Yes. Sober for a year too. Prince of Swords, okay, as the best thing. Confidence. Prince of Swords, okay. Studying yourself. Some of you guys need to do more research. Studying. saying what makes you really good. Besides the physical. Okay? Some of you guys need to study what is it. It's kind of like the Nine of Wands to me is realizing here that you never gave up on yourself, even if the times that you wanted to give up on yourself. So what I mean by that, be confident in the fact that you didn't just stop. You might have taken a break, but you never stopped. Be confident with that you didn't let nobody break you. And even if you cried, even if you told yourself, you still got your ass up and you still did it, right? You're still here. You're still trying to seek. You're still trying to gain enlightenment with yourself. Be okay with that. Find confidence in the fact that you didn't stay down. You didn't let that false appearance make your reality, because it's not real. It's false. It is false. It is not true. I rebuke it. Who I was yesterday is not who I am today. Who I was last month is not who I was last year. Rebuke it. That is not true. That's where the ego is the best part. Because you like, nah, that's not true. You know the old me. You don't know who I am now. You didn't know what I had to do to get to where I'm at right now. And it's okay. Be okay with what? Rejection. And some of you guys are having a challenge with that right now. Why are they having a challenge with this? The star. You're healing. You know, so crazy. Angels are usually the ones that, like, fallen angels or earth angels are the ones that people try to dismantle or hurt the most because they're so pure. And so many people have been tainted. So they reject you because they have been rejected within themselves. Remember that childlike self. Before the people have hurt you, rich risings, baby. Before anybody have hurt you, before anybody has told you something or made you feel some type of way, remember where you were at before then. You was the star. They try to taint that. So they reject you. Why did they reject you with this star? King of Swords here in reverse. Because people are not as sharp as you. Because people don't have the discipline as you. Because people just don't know. They're ignorant. And that's why you're here. People fear what they don't know. Fear. You see how that fear came? King of Swords is somebody here, and the upright is somebody here that's very knowledgeable. King of Swords in reverse is someone here that's ignorant to that healer. They just didn't know who you were. So they reject you because they're like, that's unfamiliar to me. They never met nobody like you. That's why you're the star. And it's okay. It's all right. The star is somebody here that's going to heal because they're pure. That's what they're here to do. And they rejected you because they don't understand you. And one day they will. Or one day they don't. But the show must go on, baby. They were ignorant to the star. But the star will shine its light regardless. Because that's what you're here to do. What's the King of Swords here in reverse? The Ten of Wands. People that had a hard time. People that has been burdened. People who had a rough life. So it becomes jealousy too. That star is jealous. They become jealous of the star because you're so pure that they want to taint you. An earth angel will always go through that. But once you start to be resilient and you start to understand that some people are ignorant, King of Swords here in reverse, that just don't understand, they have been through that burden, then you could be able to look at life a little bit differently. It won't take it so personal. It becomes a little bit more easier. They just don't understand. That's why you're here. And I know it's crazy because you're like, me? Why me? Because it was you. It was you all along. You are the star. What's the magic here? You got the 8 of Cups. You did what you had to do. You got the 4 of Pentacles. And then we have here the 7 of Cups. Once you walk away, there goes that surrender. Once you guys walk away and you start to reserve that energy, you understand the magic within yourself, the star energy that you have, right? Everything else will be fulfilled. All the things that you have lost came back and then some. The star becomes a real star. You shine your light on everybody. Everybody that are here to believe in you and that will love you will come to you because you have surrendered from the people that didn't love you and that didn't care for you and the people that just didn't understand and that was living in a burdened energy that have rejected you because they have rejected themselves. And guess what? When they see you on TV, when they see you on YouTube, when they see you on Instagram and you still smiling after they rejected you, after they hurt you, after they called you dumb, after they said that you wasn't pretty or handsome or you this, you that, and you have people supporting you, they have no choice but to respect it. You gotta respect it. Because your words didn't taint me. False appearances that are not real. Their words are not real. What they said was not real. What you think is not real. Okay? There's an energetic shift that's coming in for you guys. 6 of Pentacles. This energetic shift is going to be something here that's going to be the 6 of Pentacles is a different frequency, right? It's because now you the one that gets to choose what you want to give your energy to. You're one of a kind. How many times do you get to see the stars in the sky, depending on where you live? Because in New York City, we don't see stars. And if you see a star, it's usually like 1 or 2. That means that 9 times out of 10, the people that you have came across would never find another person like you. Be okay with that. That's where the confidence comes in. Be okay with the fact that somebody here will never be around you again. They will never get to feel that again. That childlike innocence again. And 9 times out of 10, guess what? They gonna go through it. I don't ever wish that on nobody. But that's the best way to teach people. If they was burdened before, they're going to be burdened more. Ashe. And that's just how it goes. Go check out my book, though, because if y'all like this, y'all will really, really like my ebook. We're working on it being able to go on Amazon. I'm changing up the cover a little bit, and we're going to be having actual physical copies, which will be on Amazon, and then hopefully I could be able to have it on my website if you guys want to have a physical copy. But it's best that you probably go on Amazon and just get the physical copy. And if you want the ebook, then we could go on my website to do that. What a great conversation here. I hope that I fed you guys some words of wisdom. And please like, share with a friend, and I'll speak to you guys later. Peace and love. I love you all. All right. Thank you, Noble, for the investments.